All right, so we're live. Okay, so I'm going to do just a demonstration. I'll be screen sharing my PicMonkey page and showing how I create a lower third and how I create custom overlays and the difference between the two as we go through it. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them, Karen, because Karen is in here with me, and it's always better when somebody's chatting with you instead of trying to monologue this junk. So I'm going to screen share. And I'm just going to go right on into PicMonkey.
Oh, cool.
So this is what happens when you go to the PicMonkey site. I am logged in because I do have an account with them. It's a paid account. It's pretty cheap. It's like 30-something a year. And
Do they, let me ask you this, do they have a free version of PicMonkey just to try
yes,
out? Okay,
yes. And I'll show you the differences. You'll be able to see it pretty easily when we go in
okay.
to creating a project. You'll see the differences, and I'll point them out to you. So basically, when you're here at PicMonkey, the first thing you see are these options at the top that say Edit. And you notice how as I went over it, it has options down here and tells you what to do. Then you have Touch Up. So if you had a photo you wanted to fix some wrinkles or whatnot, you could do that with that. And Design, create your own. And then there's collages. So for this particular demonstration, we're only going to be using the design feature because we want to create our own size of a project. And to do that, I'm going to hover over design and then come down here and pick custom. When I do that, it opens up the box, says what size do you want? Now, a custom overlay and a lower third are always the same size, 1280 pixels by 720. You want to write that down somewhere if you don't normally do that, and then we click Make It. Then it'll open up with a big screen like this, so that's kind of cool. I'm going to move this off so we have more screen visible. Okay, so basically it opens up right here, and the first thing that it gives you over here on the left-hand side is canvas color. Now, if I'm doing a blank screen, or if I want to totally cover the screen like with my logo so that I'm hiding behind, my visual is hiding behind it, then I would leave it just like it is or change the color by clicking around here and changing the darkness and so on. Or you can do this box right here where it says transparent canvas. Hopefully you can read that.
Yes, I can see it.
Transparent canvas. When you click transparent canvas, it changes the whole thing to a grid. That lets you know that it's transparent. So these little boxes, white and gray, won't be visible on your image, but it does let you visually know really quickly that this is a transparent image now. So you have to click apply after all of these things you do because it doesn't know you want this until you click that. So we click apply, and now that's where it's set. So now if I want to, this is again for a lower third, that's what we're going to start with, is making a lower third, and I'm going to go over here to the butterfly, which is an image, the image of a butterfly, and I can add any image I want. And if you notice, each one of these categories here has the title of the category, and then like this one, Doily Hearts, has a little crown next to it. That is not available in the free version. It will show it to you, and you'll be able to look at it, but see how it has that crown? It says you can only have it if you're a royal member.
Okay, so anytime you see a crown, that means it's the paid version or the premium version.
Yeah, it's a premium feature, and they'll always be available to you. You just can't actually use them in your project unless you upgrade. So,
Gotcha.
That's nice. Okay, so then let's just pick a star for now and say we want it there. And just like a normal graphics program, you can make it bigger or smaller, and you can change the color of it. You could even, using this tool, you could go find a color of something you wanted to match. So it's just like any other graphics tool. Let's just make this big, bright star. And think of this as, when you're going to make a lower third, think of this as what will be on your right side. Am I saying that right? Yeah. So basically, your face will be in the middle of the screen here, and this will be down at your lower right-hand side. I believe. Yeah, and so then it will be showing on your screen just like we see it, is what I'm trying to say. So if you wanted it to be over on the other side of the screen, you'd have to move it to the other side of the screen for making a lower third. Hopefully that makes sense. I don't think it did in my own head. So so where your placement, that's what I'm trying to say, your placement on.
So Heather, what I'm hearing here is that you can, pick any object that you want, or you can actually maybe use your own company logo and put that
Yes.
there and create your own lower third. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes,
Okay,
and you
gotcha.
do that up here at the top. Now, I'm not positive if this particular thing here is a
Hmm.
royal member thing or not.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so if this is not available in the free program, I apologize. But
Hmm.
up at the top, just like we were picking the stars or whatever, up at the top it says your own, and you can go out to your computer.
Hmm.
I'll just go out to my desktop and grab the image that I have already to show you, and I can, this is the really cool part. No matter how big I make that, it's still beautiful.
Hmm.
All right, and then we can go ahead and add some text. Now, something to keep in mind, this whole thing is transparent, so if I just go and add text
Hmm.
and put my name, and again, I can make it as big or as little as I want. If I put that there, remember, anything behind the word Heather is going to show through. So
Hmm.
hopefully my t-shirt is dark enough or what have you. But a better way to do it would be to add another image, and let's just choose an arrow. And we'll make it a big arrow. And that's too big. I don't like that. So we'll make it about that big, and then we will change the color, and we want it to match the logo. And so you saw how I did that.
Yeah, so it looks like you got the little eye drop, right? And
Yeah.
chose that color to match the arrow. That is very cool.
Yeah, and now you can't see my words anymore. My name is gone. So that's an easy fix. We're just going to right click, and I'm not sure, can you see that on the screen, my options on the right click?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. So then we're going to send it backward, and voila, my name is
Oh,
there.
cool.
Now, I want to change that because it's not very centered. So I'll change
Mhm.
that to be there, and voila, it's done. Now all I have to do is save it, and I'm just going to save this. Um, we'll just do that. And notice it says PNG. We want it to stay that way because we want the rest of it to be clear so that my face will show through when I show it on screen.
And you went earlier and you said it was a 1280 by 720
Very
image, and
good.
that basically takes up the entire screen
Yes.
for the HOA. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so now I'm going to go into the Hangout Toolbox, and I know I'm still screen sharing PicMonkey. Hang on. See if I can do this. All right, so I'm going to screen share the Hangout, and you should see it go off into Affinity, but all I want you to see is Hangout Toolbox, and I'm
Gotcha.
going to choose Custom Upload,
Okay.
and I'm going to find that uh, PNG we just made.
Uh-huh.
See how it says it right there, heather.png?
Uh-huh.
Turn it on, but I can't do it while we're in screen share, so I'll show you that in a second. But before I,
One more question.
yep,
I think you were mentioning PNG. So what is the difference between PNG and a JPEG file? I always get confused with that because I see, certain, like Google wants always kind of like a PNG, but sometimes they'll take a JPEG. Just if you could explain that, that would be great.
the the only thing that I know, because I'm not a very good graphics geek, is
Hmm.
that whatever PNG stands for, it has to do with transparency, and whatever JPEG stands for, it doesn't have a transparency. That's the only difference I know. Somebody out there is going to go wrong, but but all I remember is PNG will allow me to do the transparent part. So I'm just basically putting layers on top of a blank clear screen. A JPEG is a solid opaque screen, And I
Gotcha.
can put layers on that, but it will not be see-through.
Gotcha. Now that thank you for explaining that.
Okay, so
Okay.
then I am going to now turn it on,
Ooh,
and voila, there it is. And see how it's in the bottom of the screen, just like it was on the screen that we made it.
yes. That
And
is so cool.
yeah, and it's this exact box that we are in is the exact same size as the box that we started with on our PicMonkey page. So everything is sized to that. So if you wanted this to be smaller, then you just have to go in, and I can go right back into it because I haven't gotten off of PicMonkey.
Hmm.
This is something to remember with PicMonkey. You can't edit once you've done it. So if you leave the screen, I'm going to go back there.
Okay.
After we, whoops, that's weird.
So what you're saying is that, just to make sure I understand this, is that you if you save it, you can't go back and edit the image again. You have to start all over again if you saved it. Is that what I'm hearing?
Sort of. Okay, so I
Okay.
saved it and then it brought me right back to this screen. I did not close out this window.
Okay.
At this point, I can still manipulate this and save it again.
Okay.
So
But if
what
you but if you close the window and totally get out of the program, out of PicMonkey, then
exactly.
you're kind of hosed and you can't go back and
Exactly.
edit. Okay.
Exactly. So that's why I so quickly went over to the Hangout and so quickly tested it to see. Because now I can go in here and say, oh, that is way too big. We're not going to do that. As a matter of
Mhm.
fact, I don't even really like this arrow, so we're going to delete that one and put in a much nicer arrow that will fit better. And again, we're going to change the color of that one. And we're going to put this on top of it.
Mhm.
And I want this to be behind my logo. So that one, we're going to save it again, and I'm just going to override the other one by saving it exactly the same.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to come right back to the Hangout Toolbox. I'll just leave it on the screen share there. See, notice how it came back to where I can manipulate the art some more.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
as long as you don't close out this window, and that's a practice I've just gotten into, you'll be fine. So then I'm still screen sharing. So I will turn that one off,
Mhm.
and I will go put the other one back on. Sure I will. Trying to find it in the list.
It was Heather.
I know. Where did it go?
Lowercase h.
I know. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. Wow. It's only because we're live. That's all. All right.
Yeah.
Turn it on, and it's the same one.
Maybe you have to refresh it. I don't know.
Yeah, I just did. There we go. All right. That's why I couldn't find it.
Try it again.
All right, let's try it again. Goodness gracious.
It's all
It's
about
just
being
a,
live.
I know, it's just a live show. It's no big deal. I don't even know if anybody's out there watching because I can't see right now. But, and I still can't get the right one on there. That's peachy. Because,
Can you actually see it on the what you just saved?
yeah, it looks right on my screen. So that's kind of goofy. But that's really silly. I should have saved it differently, I guess. So fine, I'll just go over here and save it differently. You don't mind, do you?
Yeah, yeah. Just call it Heather too, you know?
Yeah, there you go.
Just give it a number.
Exactly. Fortunately for me, I left the window open, see?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's look for
The magic of being live.
it. And I don't know why it's not, huh. Oh, you have to actually save it. That would help. Okay, now we'll give it a try. Like it's not listed there. I did it. Okay, here we go. Heather 2, right there. And there it is. Voila. See, it's
Voila.
smaller and it fits.
Yay.
Ta-da! The end. Okay.
Yay.
So to do the same thing, only to end up with something that might be like a solid white backdrop, which is not that one. This one. So like to do like a solid white backdrop so that maybe you wanted to put comments on or hide, like I showed in the Q&A for Ronnie's thing today. Or if you wanted to do something like, let's see if I can find it really fast. No, it doesn't seem like I can. There it is. Something like this. I showed this one while we were in there. If you wanted to do something with branding or, you know, just welcome to the show, I also do this whenever my show starts. I always start out with this at my show, so that way you don't get the funny look on the face when it finally starts and goes live.
Yeah.
So to make something like that is, and I'll show you that here. So basically, we just go right back to the same concept, and because I had just done one of these, it saved this for me. Of the web page, it saved it for me, so pretty easy. And because this screen is white here and not the grid, I know that it is not a transparent.
It's a solid.
Yep. So I'm just going to leave it like that, and I'm going to add that same logo. And the key, I think the biggest problem to doing all this is organizing your photos so you can find them when you try to do this. So you can do something like that, and you can say, you know, whatever you want. And all of this wasn't really a PicMonkey tutorial per se, but hopefully you get the idea.
Yeah.
There we go. And then again, you just go through and save it. Now you'll notice it says JPEG at the end, so we again note that that's going to be an opaque picture. And you can even tell because the outline of this is visible as a full picture, whereas before it was clear and the only thing we saw was the image down here.
So what does that say there with the PicMonkey? It says quality Roger, Pierce, and Sean. What does that mean?
That would be PicMonkey being silly about they name their stuff. They're kind of silly like that. So Pierce is where it normally is. It's a good quality image. It's going to be a good file size. If you really wanted it to be absolutely perfect, then there's this, but it will save it as a larger file size. You'll notice down here the file sizes change. So this brings it down to 85.5 kilobytes, and then this one here even lower. So it depends on how much space you want to take up with it or how big of a picture. So if we were just using this for the web, these smaller ones would be better and they're easier to send and all that kind of stuff. Take up less space in your drive.
Okay.
So there you go. Any questions?
No, that was my questions. I was looking at Roger, Pierce, Sean. Like, is that a new is that new terminology that I don't know?
Yeah, it's just that would be PicMonkey. They're kind of cute that way. They do some fun stuff with the monkey symbol, and yeah, they're cute like that.
Okay, so you save this thing, and then you're gonna, I guess, show it and put that up on the screen.
Yeah. So if I know how to spell welcome, so we'll say welcome, and then I will save it again, just like I did before. And it will take me back to where I could work on it some more if I wanted to, so I'm not going to close this.
Yes.
Going to come back up to, I've got to come out of screen share to do it though. So I'm going to come right back up to the Hangout Toolbox, and it's exactly the same as it was before, the same box, custom overlay, and I choose that image that we were just looking at. Yeah, sure. Why does it do this? Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Okay, so there it is. And when I turn it on, voila.
So can you show, I know you were talking about it on Hangout Mastery, you know, when you showed your other one, how you actually, and I know it's back to the toolbox, how do you actually put that up? Is it the same method like you did with the lower third where you, it's under custom and that's where you upload it to and then you can click on it?
Yes, 100%. So I
Okay.
went to the welcome. It actually was choose overlay, and that's
Okay.
what I
Okay.
where I find that in my
Hmm.
whatever,
Hmm.
and then it has the file name right here,
Hmm.
and it's a JPEG, so I know that it's going to be
Hmm.
opaque, and then I turn it on. Now it
Hmm.
says it's on, but because I'm screen sharing, it's not on.
Hmm.
Okay, now at this point, when it is on, I have to save it, which I can't do because I'm in screen share. So this part of it is difficult because I cannot screen share exactly what I do at this point
Hmm.
because I can't have the overlay on at the same time and do this. But
Hmm.
I save it as my welcome
Hmm.
craft shack, right?
Hmm.
And then I would click save, and it's
Hmm.
down here, and you have these check mark or you have a trash can.
Okay,
Checkmark
gotcha.
chooses it. So and
Okay.
I can choose any one of these that I have saved over the time.
Okay. And so
And
when
then,
you are like setting up to do an HOA and you're putting out your event invite and you want to have that as your image on the you know the where the I guess the hangout boxes is the best way to describe it. That's where you could actually put that there, and so it won't be just like a the little triangle circle thing. It would actually have that as your image, and not just kind of a fuzzy background.
yeah, you can choose. It's not letting me choose one because I did what I did on screen share. So hang on, let me grab
Hmm.
this and turn it on so I can choose that, or I
Hmm.
can choose any one of these. Here's hmm, my old ones aren't working. So there's one that
Hmm.
I made, and you can
Hmm.
now adjust the camera and all that kind of stuff. But just by clicking that check mark that was in the circle,
Hmm.
and these are ones that I just went through the same process I showed you. Click the
Hmm.
choose overlay, go out and find what you've made previously, and
Hmm.
then turn it on. Make sure you save it, and it'll be there usually the next time you get on here for you to
That's
choose
cool.
the check mark and have it available for you.
Okay, that's
And
cool.
there's lots of different things you can do. Like I said, with starting the show out this way makes it a lot better than having the startled look that takes place sometimes when the live
Yeah.
button actually goes live. We're
Yeah.
always ready for it, and then it goes, okay, is it not gonna, you know?
Yeah.
So anyway,
So then when it goes live, then does it automatically then switch out to you as the person behind it, or do you have to click and turn it off?
at that point, I would uncheck that circle with the check mark in it. You turn it off by just unchecking, or you can turn it off in the section up above where you turned it on. So
Okay,
one or
gotcha.
the other. Yeah, and you're in control of that. So you could have it sitting there for, 2 or 3 seconds if you want to have a full logo at the beginning of your shows without having to edit your video afterwards.
Yeah, I think that's brilliant. Saves time.
hmm
Hmm.
So hopefully that helps you learn how to do it. Whether you use PicMonkey or some other graphic design thing that you're familiar with, the process is still the same. If you want it to be a lower third, meaning clear image,
Hmm.
for you and your name across it, then you would want to save it as a PNG.
Okay, gotcha.
And if you want it to be a full screen overlay that's going to obliterate the entire screen, then you want to save it as a JPEG,
Got.
JPG.
Hmm.
And the size is always the same for the best quality of image is going to be 1280 by 720. And those are the things that you need to know.
Yeah, that sounds great. One more thing while you got it. Well, if you want to continue with this HOA theme
Sure.
here, what about the event strip? It's above, the banner. What size is that?
Oh, that is a good question, and I have that. I just have to look it up real quick. I have it in my little notebook thing here.
Because I mean, if you want to add that, you could have that. And how do you then
Absolutely.
and then how do you upload that? That's my other thing. I always wanted to know how you do that.
That is done on an event itself.
Yeah.
Okay. I just got a message from somebody, so Michael.
Okay.
Anyway, let's see. One thing here.
Is he watching?
He is watching.
Hi, Michael.
Let's see here. Okay, so the G Plus event banner
Uh-huh.
is, are you ready to write it down?
I'm writing.
1200 by 300.
Okay.
Okay. And let's see. Okay, so then when you go in to set up an event,
Mm-hmm.
and it depends on which event you're trying to set up, actually. If you're going to, I think if you set up a scheduled hangout on air, then you don't have the option. I could be wrong about this because this may have changed recently, but as far as I remember, you don't have the option to put a personalized banner in that one. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know yet. I haven't tried that one here. I'm
Okay.
in this one. I wonder if I can. No. Um, Michael will tell me. I'm certain of it. But the regular hangout or a regular event that does not have a hangout manually or automatically attached to it, that you have to
Mhm.
manually attach to it, those ones you can change to the 1200 by 300 for sure. That much I know for sure. But the scheduled hangout on air, like the one that we are in right now,
Yeah.
that I don't know that you can change that banner.
But if you're doing ones that are for broadcast, you can, right?
That's what we're in.
And you,
And I don't know if you can or not. Somebody out there tell us. I know Michael's watching, so.
because I would think you could, because I did it, and I used basically the Google, the Google Hangout tool itself, and I just uploaded an image.
Okay, I'm going to ask him since
Okay.
he's not responding. Maybe he stopped watching. All right, so can I?
And we can also, you know what, Heather, if you want, we can do this professionally again if you want to do this whole
Oh,
broadcast.
no, I don't care.
I mean, if you want to use it for, a training tool, I'll be more than happy to go through this with you again.
Yes, he says yes, we can change the banner, but not the video. So, yes, you can change that video. So that banner, those numbers I gave you for the banner, you can do
Hmm.
in a scheduled Hangout on air event.
Yeah, because then you can, imagine you can manipulate it in terms of putting, your branding on it, the guests or whatever, and then you can upload it and have it there.
Hmm. And
Hmm.
that's when you're setting it up, I
Hmm.
believe.
Yeah.
That's different. It wasn't always that way, so I didn't know that you could do it now. So cool. Very cool. All right, so we're going to say goodbye, and unless you have another question, Karen?
No, I'm good.
All right, cool. So thank you very much for doing this with me. It's a lot easier with somebody asking a question. So thanks, everybody. Bye.